Alright, quick video to show a little thing I came up with today. Let me get over here. And I basically wanted to create something that the user could go into, grab, and start spinning inside of. So just bear with me. So there it goes, kind of revs up, it's kind of like an engine revving up, and then it starts knocking stuff out. So it took quite a bit of work to get it just the way I wanted it to, including so that, like, if you get it, and you can see that if you get it all jammed up inside of something, it actually has like torque to it, so that you know, it's not just, it doesn't just spin no matter what. It actually interacts with the stuff around it, and if it runs out of juice, it runs out of juice. So kind of neat. Let me solo a different one. And I want to use, obviously I'm going to use this in the game. I thought it was pretty cool, so here it is in another one. Restart, start, and not the one, oh, hang on, let me get through this. Okay, so here it is again. This time these are all enemies here, so you can kind of go through slowly and it'll knock them out of the way, no problem, but if you go too fast, you're going to run into them. So it's not like an invincibility cocoon. It's just like a really can help you out type. I wouldn't call it a power up, but cool little thing I made. Kind of little, I don't know. I like it. I thought it was cool. Thought of it this morning. I went through a couple iterations to actually get it working, and I didn't for a while. I almost gave up for a little bit, but I can kind of show you how I made it here. It may go into a much more in-depth tutorial in the future, but I'll just, for this one, I'll just give the exact settings I used and exactly how I did it, in case somebody wants to do something similar. So I'll drag this off, and I'm in connection mode right now, and you can see the that is a transparent, basically, ping. So the transparent ping is a decoration. Had to make it a decoration. I had to set it to physics, and you can see the settings over here: no collide, destroy, yada yada. The way these are linked out. So give me just a second. I'm gonna pause real quick and reset this up. Okay, this should make it a little easier to understand. So that transparent, and I'll go into debug mode so you can see it even better. That's the transparent ping set as a decoration. You can see the settings on the side here. And then what I did with that was I linked out to the surrounding physics objects that are set to physics. I could have set them to fixed. In fact, I'll change this one to, actually I'm just going to leave it. You get the idea. It'll work with physics. Again, I'm just showing how I did the one that I have. Physics, all these four are the same, and then I linked from the transparent guy out to the outsides. And then lastly, the only way I could get it to work was to link the action item into the transparent decoration object. And initially I had this was 4 pixels by 4 pixels, and it wouldn't work because you could hit this action item, but unless you also hit that, because it is set to collision based wake up. So that is not going to wake up until you have the collision, until it's touched. So it has to be about pretty much the same size as your action item, because this action item, because I have this link from the action item to the object, means that when the user hits this action item, all of these will become attached to the user, and you can see that over here in, let's go to debug mode, and you'll see when you hit that action item, see the green box around it? That means it's actually attached for the duration that's set in your settings. So now the green box, once that green box disappears, you'll see it release. See? So that's kind of how that works. So I had to make these about the same size. That took me a while to figure that one out, why it wasn't working exactly the way I wanted it to. Sometimes I'd hit the action item, but the thing wouldn't wake up, so it wasn't active on the screen, so it wasn't attached to me. A little bit complicated. Just know that you have to have that about the same size as your action item. So speaking of the action item, scroll over here and show you the settings I put for that. So just a little graphic I made. I added it in. Didn't do anything too funky with it. Set it as a type coin. Reward 0, don't show anything, and then duration is 10 seconds. So obviously I could change that to whatever I want, and that's when the thing is going to release. And then the last thing, to get it to actually spin and make it kind of go like a motor, it was kind of neat. I used the, and I'll have to do it over here. Actually, I deleted this one already. If I go back to this one and go into linker mode, I'm already in linker mode. Let me try to grab this thing. Pull it out. If I grab this, you'll see I set it to 500 and 2000. Speed 500, torque 2000. So that's how fast is it going to speed? Is it going to turn? Again, I don't understand the units of measure completely. I just kind of use numbers. I do extreme numbers until I get what I think is right. So 500 and 2000 seem to be about the feel that I wanted for this. And yeah, so I think that's all the settings I needed to talk about. Pause real quick and double check. Yep, that was it. So these were all just left to the defaults, 0 and 200, so they're not going to have any effect. Again, I could have set these to not platforms, but rather fixed objects. Well, yeah, platform fixed objects. I could have done that. Let's see what else. And that's really it. So I tried a bunch of other stuff before all this, some kind of logical stuff, and maybe I'll do a more in-depth video on what doesn't work, or what I tried that didn't work, what I thought would logically work. But you know, it ended up taking me about an hour and a half of playing with this and changing settings and linking from one way to the other to see which ways affected which. It really just took a lot of playing, so hopefully I saved somebody some time. Thanks.